All right, Rob G.
So we got a big game tonight, right? We got Commanders, Packers, two teams that I think we can say comfortably believe they have Super Bowl aspirations, right?
Sure.
Everyone's excited about it. The only difference is that coming up on Sunday, we got two teams who were actually in the Super Bowl last season. Rematch. Chiefs, Eagles. Eagles coming off a win. Chiefs coming off a loss.
Eagles a favorite in Kansas City. Did you see that?
That's notable because, Rob, I don't know if you know this, but Jalen Hurts, who executives believe is not that great, he's probably a tier 2, tier 3 type quarterback, even though Super Bowl MVP. Anonymous execs told ESPN, I don't know if
Which is crazy, Rob G, because think about this. Super Bowl MVP this past year.
Yep.
But the first time he was in the Super Bowl, he balled out. He had a great game. Other than that one fumble, he had a tremendous game.
And there are people who still say, I don't even know if he's a top 10 quarterback. Wow. But you should know heading into this game here on Sunday that Jalen Hurts is one of the few quarterbacks who can ever say that they've won their last two meetings against Patrick Mahomes. And as you mentioned, is favored here heading into Sunday. It could be 3 in a row. Patrick Mahomes has never lost 3 games in a row, period. If he loses on Sunday, it will have happened, and 2 of them will have been to Jalen Hurts. So here's the question, guys, as we lead into Sunday's showdown. Is it fair to say that Jalen Hurts, not Lamar Jackson, not Josh Allen, not even Joe Burrow, that Jalen Hurts is actually Patrick Mahomes' top NFL quarterback rival?
Yes, it's 100% accurate. And this last Super Bowl is when it happened. There's another factor I'm going to get into in 1 second. Jalen Hurts right now and Patrick Mahomes are actually competing for their places in history, right? They're competing for how great will my legacy be? How many Super Bowls will I have? How many will I beat this guy? They're competing for the highest thing, the things that matter most. And what makes it interesting and fun is that they're one up on each other. If you're Jalen Hurts, to your point, Rob G, I can say, hey, I've played better in 2 Super Bowls than the guy y'all keep saying is number 1. I played better than the guy that y'all at some point were saying could be the GOAT. So Jalen Hurts has that in his favor.
That conversation ain't happening anymore.
Yeah, but he can say that. How did Elijah get into this? But
he's a Mahomes slappy.
Yeah, well, he absolutely can. He's had plenty of years to continue to chase down the GOAT status. The other side of this, why I think it's actually Hurts, is because now I link Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen together. Like, that's the rivalry. Even more than, to me, almost Hurts and Patrick Mahomes. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are both competing for multiple things. They're now the who's going to win the MVP. This one or this one. Who won it last year? This one, this one. Who should have won the year before? This one or this one. They're competing for who's more electric, who does more, who's more fun to watch. Those two guys, to me, are more linked. Who's the guy that can finally get by a Patrick Mahomes and get to a Super Bowl? Because neither have been able to do that. So I think Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are their own rivalry, while now we have one with Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, the guys who are competing for the top ultimate prize that matters the most, which are championships and ultimately Super Bowl MVPs. So those are my 2 separate rivalries. Those 2, Hurts and Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. That's how I view it. Those two.
I disagree. I think that it's naturally Lamar and Josh Allen because they're in the same AFC. And only one quarterback can come out of that, and that's what they're looking at. Like, you got the Jalen Hurts, but he's in the NFC. So that doesn't really affect whether or not what he does in the NFC affects Patrick Mahomes getting there, even though he's beaten him a couple times. The real rivalry is who in the AFC, like the reason Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, both in the AFC, both trying to get out there, both trying to get to the Super Bowl. So that's where that links them together. And I think that's what people talk about. I understand that they played in big games, Super Bowl, and they're 1-1, and Jalen's beaten them a couple times. But ultimately, it's Lamar trying to get to the Super Bowl in the AFC, whether you go through Josh Allen or whether you go through Patrick Mahomes. And I think that's why they're more of a natural rivalry, because they're in the same conference. And that's why I brought up the Brady. You see what I'm saying? Like the Brady and
no, I get what you're saying, but
because that's the only way I can get to the Super Bowl, which is your goal, is to get to the Super Bowl. Who's in my way? When Michael Jordan was in
Pistons.
the Eastern Conference, right? And he had to get through the Pistons and the Celtics. Like, they were in his way. So who was your rival? The Pistons and the Celtics, because you were trying to beat them and get there.
But
and
this
then
is
at one point,
this is where I push back. I get your point because it's natural we're going to play a lot. But the greatest rival we all loved in the 80s was the Lakers Celtics. And they were in different conferences because they ultimately knew they were competing for the biggest prize, the championship.
But I don't think the individual players.
But what if we get there? Jalen Hurts and Patrick get there again. Maybe it's not this year, but maybe it's next year. Now that would be 3 and 4 or 5 years, 4 years.
Yeah, but what if they don't
that they
get
competed?
there? I just think that you have more chances of, over the next 8 years, of Lamar coming up against Patrick Mahomes, Lamar coming up against Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, who's already beaten Patrick Mahomes a couple times, including once to go to the Super Bowl. Those are the natural. So it's those 4. I know we didn't even mention Joe Burrow, but that's really because his team right now with the defense, it's hard to look at them and think they're going
They're on
anywhere.
the same level as the other
3-4
teams.
Right. So that's why I think all those quarterbacks, you look at the AFC and go, man, how are we going to get to, you know what I mean, to the Super Bowl? There's 4 guys there.
I just think for me, this is game 5 this Sunday. Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes are 2-2. Regular season, both 1-1. And then also in the Super Bowl, they both 1-1. So this Sunday will be game 5 to break the record to see who has the lead. And I just think that's a rivalry. We got 5 games in now. 2 of them were in the Super Bowl. I beat you. You beat me. We're both competing Super Bowl MVPs. I mean, I just think that is it because, again, I start to look at it as you guys are competing for the ultimate goal. And in the next 3 to 4 years, there's no chance to say those guys might meet 1-2 more times. And to me, that would be amazing that we had 2 guys competing Super Bowls a handful of times. You know, almost like if we got one more Eli and Tom Brady, you know what I mean? Like a trilogy of that would have been awesome. Like that, we would put them guys as like, man, look at Eli and Tom Brady going at it because they met 3 times in the Super Bowl. So that to me is the difference is they're competing for a higher thing. The other 2 are just competing to even get to the thing, the Super Bowl. But I get what you're saying, the AFC. I just look at it maybe almost like a Lakers-Celtics to me. We're competing at the championship level.
Is Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, one true quarterback rival? Who are you picking? What do you think it is? Is it Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson with Patrick Mahomes? All right, Shaq in Richmond, Virginia. You're on the Odd Couple. Fox Sports Radio. No mumbling. How are you, Shaq?
Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback I've ever
What's
seen.
going on, Rod?
How you been? Where you been?
Can you dig it?
I've been working, man. I was actually out in San Diego a couple months ago for work.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Working and chilling, man.
All right,
For government contractor. What's up, Kelvin?
What's up, Shaq? How you doing, man? What you got going, man? Who you gonna pick, man? What's the best rival in the NFL?
Hey, man. I honestly think I got like a 3 list. It's like Allen first, Lamar second, Burrow third. I don't really consider like Hurts his rival. It's kind of weird, like the Eli and Brady thing. I think y'all kind of alluded to, but. Like it was more like Peyton Manning was his rival.
Right. That was his rival.
For sure.
Yeah, because they were both in the same conference.
And Kevin, I see where you were going with the Magic and Bird thing, but only the big difference, the elephant in the room, they cultivated that in college in the championship game too, so the carryover. So it's a little different. I would go Allen, Lamar, and Burrow though. And Hurts is more just kind of like, it's not a guarantee that they'll get back, but like those 4 quarterbacks in the AFC, they're going to meet, like, eventually at some point. Like, every playoff.
Every playoff, there's some big game with those guys being involved. No doubt. Thanks, Shaq.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it. Scott in North Kakalaki. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Scott?
What's up? I appreciate y'all taking my call.
No doubt.
I say Jalen Hurts only because the standpoint from Patrick Mahomes is like every high-leverage situation that Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen played him, they lost. So, I mean, how can that be a rival when they lost every single time against them?
Wait a minute. But Joe Burrow's in there. He's beating them. At one time, when they call it Burrowhead is what they were calling the stadium.
Yeah, they had to relax on that a little bit.
No?
Yeah, but, I mean, his team is weak and consistent.
No, now it is. Now it is, but he beat Patrick Mahomes. I'm just saying, didn't he? A couple times?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think it's Burrow, though. I don't know. I just think.
Well, not now it's not.
He got to work. Right now, he's got to worry about September. Get off to a good September.
Drew in New Jersey. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Drew?
Hey, I think I agree with the first caller. I would go Josh, then Lamar, then Burrow. Also, I think that what's interesting, I felt like there was a lot of confirmation bias with Jalen Hurts. I feel like everyone loves Jalen Hurts, his personality, everything. I felt like we wanted just a moment, right? And I felt like when you look at Flacco's Super Bowl run and you look at Eli Manning's 2 Super Bowl runs, I don't remember them getting that same level of, hey, this guy's definitely a top 5, top 10 quarterback, where I think there's a huge gap between Lamar and Josh Allen than Jalen Hurts. I don't think they're remotely similar. These guys are superheroes. This guy's a game manager.
I think Drew, you might appreciate this. He gives me Terry Bradshaw. We don't give Terry Bradshaw.
And for good reason.
Yeah, we don't consider him one of those ones, but he played to the team. They found their way to win, and he got 4 rings out of it.
I think Jalen comes in because, and this is just me.
Yeah.
Because of what happened in college. When you lose your job and you get kicked to the side and they pick somebody else, and now he's gone a long way to reestablish that, but not too many great quarterbacks have had that happen.
You're saying that's in favor of him?
No,
or that's the detraction?
The detraction is that you look at him, Rob G, does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like he was in college and they decided to go with somebody else. But he went and picked himself up, went somewhere else.
But that's why I thought that was in favor. I thought his story has been great. He went and then he balled out at Oklahoma.
But he still lost his gig, and I think that's why. Why did he lose his gig? Like the coach didn't think he was good enough. Do you know what I mean? Like that.
Isn't that a Hallmark movie? And then he goes to the league, and he's been to 2 Super Bowls already.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying I think that's why people look at him a little differently. That's all.
I thought that was great of him to be able to do that.
No, that's not. I don't think you understand what I'm saying.
I do. You're saying that he's not that guy because he lost his job. He lost his job.
And I think that you can't name other guys who are top tier quarterbacks who lost their jobs in college.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow
didn't give. That's why he had to leave Ohio State.
No, I don't look at Joe Burrow that way because I don't think he was that touted. But anyway.
All right, Rob, so they're watching us right now, which means another thing they can do is what?
They can subscribe. All you got to do is hit that button, subscribe to The Odd Couple for some of the best sports talk content in the nation.
Facts, and while you're at it, they can like, they can comment, they can share. Do all that for us. We appreciate it. Just do all that right up in here.